back to my YouTube channel. Nurse Johnson here again. I just feel the need to talk about this bacteria by the name Escherichia coli that has indeed, yes, indeed having some resistance to its treatment. So today I came up with a title by the name Being a Superbug is Fun. So we are going to be dealing with Escherichia coli inside and out. We'll be having a panel discussion. I'll be also having a microbiologist from overseas, to explain this bacteria that has been resisting its treatments worldwide. So now let's begin.
Before we get into the meat of the matter, I will just be introducing this organism. There is an undeniable relationship between pathogenic organisms and host microbial diseases or infections. According to Microbiology Society 2020, microbial diseases are defined as infections that damages an individual's vital functions or systems after it has been invaded by a pathogenic or opportunistic microorganism. These pathogenic organisms enter the host through different bodily portals of entry and tend to exit the host through the same bodily portals of entry in most cases. The bacteria Escherichia coli will be the principal focus of this research paper. This specific bacterium is Balicae, rod-shaped, and appears pink when stained due to its gram-negative nature. E. coli is known to be one of the most causative bacterium prone to give rise to infections or diseases in organisms they have invaded. Some of the infections caused by this bacterium are urinary tract infections such as pyrexia, fever, hematuria, blood in urine, dysuria, painful urination, and urinary frequency. It also causes gastroenteritis resulting in abdominal cramping, vomiting, and diarrhea. Further in moderation in the study of E. coli and its causative agents is essential due to the negative impacts specific strains of this bacterium may cause in host organisms. E. coli is one of, if not the most common cause of nosocomial urinary tract infections. Many E. coli infections may possibly occur after healthcare has been acquired by a patient. The spread of the bacteria in a nosocomial environment can be a result of the lack of hand washing by healthcare providers between dealing with each patient. E. coli is an antimicrobial resistant bacterium by nature. This means it has a high resistance to antibiotics, which poses a problem for healthcare professionals to develop a set antibiotic for its treatment. When observing E. coli, it should be done by taking a holistic approach. This is due to the fact that E. coli infections are not only nosocomial acquired, but also community acquired. Therefore, infections from this bacteria can be developed or contracted at any given time and location. This research paper strives to display a more detailed content on E. coli while interpreting and analyzing it from different angles to provide valid and precise information. A combination of various points such as portals of entry and exit, transmission, precautions, treatment, and the role of the nurse will be documented in this research paper from a holistic point of view. Please do enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Good day, my name is Roshane White. I am a microbiologist at the University of Penn in the United States. I will be elaborating on Escherichia coli, which is also known as E. coli. I will be focusing on the mode of transmission and also the portal of exit and entry. I will also show a short video of how the bacteria is transmitted.
Produce contaminated with toxic bacteria like Salmonella is the most common vehicle of foodborne illness, followed by infected meat and poultry, dairy and eggs, and fish and shellfish.
Mode of transmission. Escherichia coli is a bacteria that is commonly found in the guts of humans and warm-blooded animals. It is transmitted to humans through the following modes. 1. The process of consuming contaminated food such as raw or undercooked meat product, raw milk, and contaminated raw vegetables. 2. Escherichia coli is also transmitted through the facial contamination of water, and other foods, as well as cross-contamination during food preparation, maybe contaminated surface and kitchen utensils. This leads to the infections. 3. Person-to-person transmission happens also through the oral facial route. The Escherichia coli may cause direct damage as it may use the host cell for nutrition to produce waste products. As these pathogens multiply, the cell rupture. The E. coli may spread to other tissues after rupture and may even engulf the host cells by phagocytosis. The E. coli may also penetrate the cell of the host by secreting enzyme and its own motility. For example, penetration can damage the host cell.
It starts to nestle down on the surface, it's locked in, and then it's going to come down and it's going to set up camp right there. We know that happens because we can see this in electron micrographs, and the microvilli all disappear, and boom. Okay, so we're now stuck in the intestine. Bacteria are here. We're going to zoom in. Here's our type 3 secretion system, right? This thing will poke out. We know protein comes out. We know this protein. And then it inserts 2 more proteins that come out and down this tube, and they go into insert into the host membrane. So these green proteins will sort of form like a donut pore, and this is kind of the tip of the syringe. Then we have to fire in the receptor, the tear molecule, and you'll see it as this red molecule coming down the chutes, and it gets then fired into the host cell. Then it goes into the host cell. We don't know if it goes through the cytoplasm, goes straight in the membrane. We haven't figured this out. You'll see a little blue dot. That's a tyrosine phosphorylation event. Tear gets modified. Then it ends up in the host membrane.
Portal of entry and exit. As seen in the previous video, which demonstrates a form of portal of entry in the body, the site through which microorganisms enter the susceptible host and cause disease or infection is a portal of entry, while the exit portal is the site through which microorganisms leave the host to enter another host and cause a disease or infection. These bacteria are called residue flora, and the presence of bacteria in and on the human body is natural. The large intestine is, for example, colonized by E. coli. The gastrointestinal tract reservoir exits through the anus, which is a portal of exit. E. coli infectious agent can spread to the urinary tract by indirect contact. Mode of transmission in women, wiping from back to front and causing infection of the urinary tract. A simple way for women susceptible host to remember the infection chain is to wipe from front to back. E. coli can also enter the body through the mouth when person consume contaminated food or even interact with a person who is infected with the bacteria through the epidermis, which is the external layer of the skin. Portal of exit and entry can be both. It is commonly spread during the preparation of meat. The anus is a portal of exit and entry for the E. coli bacteria. E. coli can pass even when the infected person has no sign or symptoms, and this would have concluded our presentation.
Well, Granny Doctor, where are you with?
I'm here, Danique. How are you today?
Then, Doctor, me just a call you for hear about the results. Them. Remember me that tell about me they see the blood in the urine and me they have fever. And me I tell you see me I feel some cramp, man. The amount of time me go bathroom in a doctor. Me I tell you, man, when if I remember about it, all the results them they go for test them where they take.
Yes, I was about to call you about those results also. I'm glad that you called today, Danique. So,
Yeah,
yes, after evaluating those samples, the test that you came in to do, I found out that you have Escherichia coli.
Where you said that? Where you said what?
Escherichia coli. Yes, I've found this case in so many more of my patients. Yes, so Escherichia coli is a causative agent. Escherichia coli bacillus, which is gram-negative and grows readily on simple culture media with the use of minimal nutrients. E. coli can grow both aerobically and anaerobically, preferably at 37 degrees Celsius.
Aerobically and
So, yes, Danique, to answer your question, The E. coli, which are aerobic, they are the ones that use oxygen to grow, and the one that grows anaerobically, they do not use oxygen to grow. Yes, and I was stating they preferably grow at 37 degrees Celsius. It can be both motile and non-motile, usually motile by pericheous flagella. Yes. Escherichia coli is a form of bacterium in which a non-pathogenic commensal isolate that forms part of the normal flora of humans and various animals. However, in humans, they may be aerobic organisms that reside in the intestines. It is also sometimes found in the soil and the water, which is because of fecal contamination. Many varieties of E. coli may result in infections in the gastrointestinal system. E. coli causes urinary tract infection most of the time in humans and is a main contributing factor to systematic infections, namely cystitis, cellulitis, bacteremia, and nosocomial pneumonia. Yes, this may be why you may feel in the you had those feelings, the symptoms that you had. Yes,
Right.
it was a
Okay.
contributing factor. The E. coli
Okay.
genome is made up of a conserved core of genes which make provision for the genetic information that is required for the cell's essential cellular processes and a flexible gene pool that harbors genetic information which provides properties like virulence and fitness genes. This enables the bacterium to adapt to special conditions in the environment. The pathogenicity of E. coli is due to the contribution of its virulence to the pathogenic bacteria that cause infections. E. coli is responsible for a wide variety of hospital and community onset infections. Its causes may be intestinal infection and extra intestinal infection.
So, doctor, why the treatment them we are gonna give me now?
Yes, there are many treatments for E. coli. So, synthesized by chemicals or naturally occurring substances such as mold are antibiotics used to kill or neutralize bacteria by interrupting cell wall synthesis or interfering with processes such as protein synthesis. Um, Antibiotics have been known for its significant job in treating many infections. However, today specific bacteria such as E. coli have developed resistance to these antibiotics. Treatment of E. coli varies depending on the infection. The most common infection includes urinary tract infection and digestive tract infection, namely gastroenteritis. To treat these infections, antibiotics were used. However, because the bacteria has developed resistance to the treatment, there are no longer any medications to aid with the treatment of these infections. In addition, this has now been investigated with with an holistic approach with solutions that has been discovered that homemade remedies can be used to limit the effects of this bacteria, which includes garlic, honey, ginger, and golden seal, which is normally consumed in tea or capsule format to combat diarrhea. In most cases, it will require an intake of rehydration salts. So, for your situation now, Miss Johnson, you may use garlic, honey, ginger, and golden seal. You
Oh,
understand what I'm saying?
yes, doctor. I understand, man.
Okay, that's good to know. So, for further use, I could give you some precautions for E. coli. So,
Okay.
individuals can limit the risk of occurring certain infections or diseases resulted from E. coli by adapting to good food handling and hygiene practices. Yes. So, on the note of good hand hygiene, ensure that the hands are washed at 60 degrees Celsius, properly lathered with soap, thoroughly rinsed with water, and carefully dried. So, before preparing, serving, or consuming food, wash your hands. After using the restroom, wash your hands. After handling raw meats or vegetables, wash your hands. And after physical contact with all forms of animals, what do?
Wash your hand, doctor.
That's good. And
Yeah.
also, in food handling, any individual experiencing diarrhea or vomiting should restrain from handling food. All
Okay.
meats and vegetables should be thoroughly cooked to aid in destroying causative diseases from microorganisms. All fruits and vegetables should be properly peeled and rinsed under portable running water. Yes, and cross-contamination increases the spread of bacteria from one item to another. This can be avoided by washing utensils or kitchen tools after it has physically contacted a specific type of food before using the said utensils on a different type of food. So, for example, you're using a knife. The knife should firstly be thoroughly washed, and then you can use it to cut up your meat. So, if you want to cut up some vegetables, you need to wash that knife before you proceed cutting up the vegetables. Do you understand?
Yes, doctor. I understand, man. I understand.
Yes, I'm so glad that you understand. So, Ms.
Yeah.
Johnson, I thank you for coming in today so that
Yes,
I could give
man.
you your information. So please take these precautions into consideration every time you're handling your food and so on. Continue to wash your hands, and at the same time as it is COVID time right now, wash your hands properly.
Right. I'm glad to inform me, doctor, man. Just bless the person. Bless her.
Yes, I will continue to do that. Just please take care of yourself and be good now. Do not fret for your situation. It is one that can be treated with care. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Use up your garlic and your onion, and as I would say, wash your hands.
Okay, doctor.
Nurses, we play an essential role in helping to fight against antimicrobial resistance worldwide. We are the center of patients' care, as well as we may prescribe medications that could possibly kill or decrease the production of microorganisms in many countries. Nurses are to ensure that several procedures are carried out in this process, which includes ensuring that patients get sufficient rest, making sure they consume great amounts of fluids that will help to prevent dehydration, and avoid taking antidiarrheal medications to treat the infections. Now, in the case of the hospital, patients are required to practice proper hand washing and environmental hygiene. We need to take note of the patient safety measures, educate the patient about the precautions that can be used to prevent these infections, educate also their family members about water sanitation, ensure the right amount of antibiotics are taken at the required time, and to formulate a documentation of each process that involves the treatment of the patient.
To conclude this presentation, I believe it's safe to say that the information has highlighted the causative agent, treatment, precautions, and transmission of the E. coli bacterium. Our thoughts and intentions concerning the E. coli organism have also been met. Despite being the foremost cause of diarrhea and urinary tract infections, we are aware of how harmful this bacterium can be. We were also informed that contact between individuals may possibly lead to the buildup of E. coli. Documented information will assist in educating the public about this bacterium, make recommendations, and share tips to protect against E. coli. This knowledge will also be beneficial to our bacterial pathways in nursing. Personally, each participant of this project is committed to practice all the knowledge attained in their everyday lives in order to safeguard against E. coli. Furthermore, as future nurses, we will use this information gathered to play a vital role in reducing and treating the number of E. coli cases wherever we may go. Thank you for your attention throughout this video, and I do hope you have gained some knowledge from the information provided. Please do enjoy the rest of your day.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more informative videos like this.